Hey everyone, and welcome back to Surprisingly, where I sit with a stranger and find out what they're all about, right along with you. I'm your host, Bridget Dinahan, and this is Mandy Barnett's second episode, where she discusses how fame and being surrounded by yes people can be a drug in and of itself. We talk about what's next for her personally and professionally. She shares what it's like to be an only child caring for two sick parents at the same time, and how her parents began to heal emotionally after their divorce because of it. It's clear Mandy had an incredible bond with her mother who passed. She opens up further about what made that relationship so special and how she's reconnecting with her emotionally distant father in his older age. She also drops a fun fact about Patsy Cline's Crazy that you may not know. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about what is next for you, when I ask you the question, what's next for you, please understand you might want to answer what's next for you in your career, what's next for you in your life. How do you interpret that? What's next for you?
Well, I am working. I'm going to continue to work, but the thing that's pressing the most right now is my dad.
Yeah.
And so I've got to get him through some stuff, some challenges, and I'm also working on a record or working on music.
Okay.
So
let's tell me about your dad first. Now, you said he is in the hospital currently. Is he then coming home with you, or is he still?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
He and my mother both had such complex medical issues. He's on dialysis.
Yep.
And then just had a pacemaker put in and a heart valve replaced. And so I'm just trying to get him back to a place of stability where he can go and do like he wants to, because he's very independent.
How old is your dad?
He's 78. So I'm hoping that we can get him figured out and thriving and doing well.
How is he doing with the loss of your mom? Were they still together when she
They weren't.
passed?
They'd been divorced
Okay.
30 years. But last year I had them both. I mean, they were both sick. So it's just like, look, there's only one me. So we're going to have to.
You're going to have to make the peace.
We're going to
while
have to
we're
make
going.
peace and get along. And it actually was great because they ended up just loving being together. We had Christmas last year together. And
Really?
So, yeah, and that's really great. Last year was wonderful, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's really, was that healing for you to see
so
them
much.
being
It
nice to
was.
each other if they weren't?
And before my mother passed, my dad called her and they
Stop
had
it.
this really deep conversation.
Stop.
Yeah.
Holy
First time I
moly.
ever saw my father cry.
You are kidding me. Okay, well, listen, I respect people's privacy. You only share what you feel like sharing, but if it's appropriate to you, what do you think broke their marriage up, and what work were they doing to heal that before your mom passed?
Well, it had been so long since they broke up, but, the same old, it's a redneck man. He wanted to hunt and chase ugly women and, do what he wanted to do.
was
And you
a
can't do
wild
that.
thing.
He
He was
was wild.
wild.
It took him to nearly 70 to calm down.
Oh, really?
And he was a Vietnam vet. He is a Vietnam vet.
Bless his heart, yeah.
And, spent 4 tours of duty in Vietnam. So
Jeez.
a bit of an adrenaline junkie. Mm-hmm. And so I think it took him years to calm down, probably just from being over there alone.
What age were you when your parents split?
16.
How was that?
I was for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was for it.
You were like,
because-
this is the pits. Y'all don't
Yeah,
like
it was
each
because
other.
it was the pits for me too.
I bet.
It was no good. But he always supported us financially. We always had everything that we needed, but the emotional part wasn't there.
Yeah.
So over the last few years, I have developed more of a relationship with him emotionally because he can handle it now. He can receive it now and he can give it now.
Is it just, do you think it's age? that has calmed his butt down?
I think age and probably just going through some hard stuff himself. He got married, divorced, and
Okay.
yeah, I think sometimes you have to just get out there, flail around, and find out what life is all about, you know?
Wow. So were you privy to any of the kind of conversations that he and your mother were having?
At the end, yes. And I think, it was just basically her telling him to be well, to be good to me, to take care of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's sticking up for you to the
She
very
was.
end. It is so special to just hear about a mother-daughter relationship that was so close and so kind and loving. It sounds like she really saw you. She
did.
saw you early on, and I think for better or for worse or for reasons unknown, not every parent is invested in seeing their child. And so I'm so glad that your mother really saw you and had the heart space to hold space for you and
Yes.
to
I'm lucky in that way because I know people who don't have that kind of relationship with their mothers.
Right.
It's hard to even fathom. But she had 4 miscarriages. She had
Before you,
two
or-
before me and 2 after me.
goodness.
Yeah.
So she wanted more.
She did, but ultimately, it was just me and her a lot of the time, and it just created a bond.
Oh, I love that. And especially it sounds like your dad wasn't emotionally available for either one of you.
Yeah, not really.
I'm sorry, but I'm very happy that it sounds like he is learning some things, even at this big age. So good for him. And I'm
He
glad
is.
you're able to witness some of that.
He is doing well. I'm very proud of him, and I'm enjoying getting to know him as an adult.
What have you been surprised to learn about him that maybe you didn't know or understand when you were younger?
Just emotionally, he's more emotional now. He just has more depth to him. He's not as thinking as much about himself. I don't know. It's been really nice getting to spend time with him. We went riding around not that long ago, and he said, pull off here, and we ended up going through the woods, through an old log road that wasn't even really a road. And it was so exciting, and he had a great time, too. We're going through streams and just washed out places in the road, and I was kind of halfway wondering if we were going to make it out, but he knew we would, and of course he had the truck for it. But that was a lot of fun, just getting to ride around with him and do things that he did when he was younger, and he knows all the little places in Crossville and all the secret roads and where everything is, and so I've
you
just
felt
been
safe with him because
I did, because he knows.
Yeah.
Like he's so smart. Like I took him home not that long ago, and the fog was so bad, and I was thinking, how am I going to get out of here? And he told me to roll my window down and look at the ditch line. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Right?
So if you're ever out somewhere and the fog is so thick you can't see, roll your window down and
Okay,
look
what's
at
your
the ditch
father's
line.
name?
Dan.
Pro tip for the people from Dan. Look at the ditch line.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's the middle of nowhere. There's no lights. There's no nothing.
Right.
And there's a river around, and so the fog off the river. So we're talking, you
Thick.
can cut it with a knife. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, even in Nashville, it was like about 3 weeks ago, we were up in the morning, we had somewhere to be, and it was even on, we were on
Yeah.
Briley Parkway, and we were like,
Well, the river's right there.
yeah. So it was thick, 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 beautiful. I love
Yeah.
a foggy day, but it's no fun to drive in. And of course, I think our daughter might have been in the car because every moment is a teaching moment. For this one, he was like, now, honey, you would think turning on your lights brighter helps, but you get that bounce back from the fog. It's not always that's why you have fog lights, right? It's not always the best thing to do. So Yeah, tips from dads. I mean, thank goodness for it, right?
Yes.
Need fresh content like social and web assets, copywriting, and more? Visit freshconsumables.com. So, I also think, as a somewhat country girl myself, I grew up in a very rural area in Northwest Kansas. I think a good old drive around, like let's go for a drive, is highly underrated.
Oh, me too.
Right?
Yeah, and
Don't you
turning the
just
music on.
Yes. Don't you just love going for a drive?
Yeah, I do. And that's how I know Davidson County so well. I've just driven all over the place.
Have you really?
Yeah, Sunday afternoons and just take off. And I wonder what's over here or what's over there. Yeah.
What's your favorite area of town to drive around in?
Well, I really like out past Bordeaux and Clarksville Pike because there's a lot of farmland out that way, and it's not that far from downtown Nashville. It's about 20 minutes. I like riding out there. Pleasant View. It's beautiful. Of course, Franklin is gorgeous too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then I do it in Crossville. Crossville's a beautiful place. It's up on the mountain.
Yeah, it's pretty. Tennessee is just very, very pretty. We're
It
very
is.
lucky. We pay for it with all the allergies we suffer from with all these trees and leaves. We do pay for it every year, but it sure is pretty. So, okay, circling back, what else is next?
I'm recording some music with Kyle Lenning and Jordan Lenning, and I'm really excited about that. So,
Who are they? Tell me about them.
So Kyle produced Randy Travis, produced all of his hits, and Dan Seals and George Jones, and just, tons of people have been hugely successful. His son Jordan has done all kinds of stuff. He's a great string arranger, just a great musician. And so it's really wonderful to get to work with a father and son. Of course, Kyle is on up there. He's like my parents' age. But I worked with him when I was 19 years old, so we have a history. And then Jordan is closer to my age. So between the two of them, it's really bringing something really cool to the table because he's thinking more modern than we do. I say we do because I tend to think more like Kyle because, again, I was more around older people growing up. Old souls, that kind of thing. So that's been really, really a great experience getting to work with them and seeing what they come up with.
Where are you physically recording? Is this a home studio situation or?
Both. A lot of times we will track at a studio in town, but both of them have really state-of-the-art studios at their homes as well. So that helps. So we've done everything.
Isn't it amazing the growth in the last, 30 years even of what you can have in your home and the quality of sound is just incredible.
It really is.
What used to, a console that had to take up half of the room now is like
it's a computer and a
your
mic.
Computer.
Yeah, I'm doing my Sirius show a lot of times at my kitchen table.
Wow. Okay, so I'm so glad you circled back to your Sirius show because I want you to tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, it's Sirius XM, Wheelie's Roadhouse, Channel 61, every Sunday. It's called Sundays with Mandy, 12 to 4 Eastern Time.
Okay. That's a long show.
It is a long show.
I've never paid it. Is that about the average show slot for Sirius? I've never really paid attention, but
it's all different. Some of them are hour long, some of them are 2 hours. So I'm not sure. Sunny Sweeney and Dallas Wayne are two of the main on-air personalities for Willie's, and they tend to be throughout the day longer. So I think it's more 6 hours.
Oh wow,
for them. But 4 hours is definitely a good amount of time, and I love it because I get to play music I love.
So are the set lists provided for you or playlist, I should say, or are you picking those?
I'm curating a good portion of it, especially where I'm coming in and doing the breaks. Yeah.
So do you, what kind of, I know some of the shows that I listen to on there, you're getting little facts about the artist or this and that. Do you do that type of thing as well?
I do, and if I've had history with the artist, and a lot of times I have just from being here so long, or just my feelings about the record, or if I know who played what on the record, I'll kind of dive into some of that stuff, historical stuff, and experiences I've had.
What a niche sort of expertise to have. Like, not only are you a singer, but you've also been in the business. You've worked with so many people. You're also a passionate music lover. And so these things are, some people are just singers and just performers, but you sound deeply interested in that
Just
genre,
the history.
the history. So tell me, when you think about some interesting kind of little facts about maybe a record or a song that you've played recently on air, would you mind sharing a couple with me?
Okay.
Okay. So when's the last time you recorded your show?
Last week.
Okay, last week. Do you remember a song that you played and a fun fact that you shared?
No.
Oh, okay. You're like, ma'am, have you heard that I'm very busy this holiday season? And
Yeah, ask me what I had for lunch yesterday. I don't remember.
That's fair.
Yeah, but okay, let's take Crazy, for instance. So
Perfect.
it's the only song. Now, back then, they only had 3 tracks.
Right.
So it's not like they were doing auto-tune and all this stuff. They had to cut live.
We don't call it, is it tape to tape, reel to reel? What do you
It
call
was
it?
analog. Yeah.
Tape to tape.
So you had to do it live on the floor. And that's why all those records sound so great, like they're living, breathing things. Well, Patsy Cline had a car wreck in Madison. And this was in 1961, and that nearly killed her. So her ribs had been broken. And so when they went in to record Crazy, she couldn't hit the high notes. So she came back 2 weeks later and nailed it in one take.
Wow. 2 weeks after having, so was she all healed up? Or, I mean, you can't heal.
I don't think she was healed up. I think she'd been in the hospital for a while, got out thinking, okay, I can do this, but wasn't healed up enough.
Oh.
So.
What an iconic track, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a neat, thank you for that. That's juicy. That's really juicy.
And she'd heard the Willie Nelson demo, and she had that stuck in her head. And of course, Willie has his different way of phrasing, and so Owen Bradley just told her, he said, "Look, Patsy, don't sing it like Willie, sing it like you."
So Willie did the demo.
Yeah, he wrote the song, and he sang it.
Okay.
Yeah, he wrote the song and sang it differently, and sang it like Willie does. Mm-hmm. And she couldn't hear it outside of that. Like, she couldn't imagine what it could sound like. But she had such an amazing producer that was he was just a gifted musician himself, and he heard the potential.
I'm hearing that song right now. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for schooling us here, because I sure as heck did not know that Willie wrote that song. Willie is one of those artists that I know he's a legend. I know he's an icon. I think personally he's real fun.
Yes.
But
good guy.
He's not an artist that I've ever gravitated toward listening, like actually listening to him at length. And I wonder if he would grow on me, because everybody loves him, and I feel like an outlier for being like, I've never really listened to him, but
I'll tell you where to start.
Oh, please.
Yes, because there's so many. He has recorded so many records, probably more than anyone ever has. Stardust.
Okay.
It was on the Billboard charts for 10 years.
Okay. Start with Stardust.
Stardust. And he went back and recorded all the old songs from the 20s and 30s, Hoagie Carmichael, Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, that kind of stuff, and introduced a whole new generation to the Great American Songbook. But he did it like Willie.
Yeah.
Now, Willie was an amazing songwriter. He wrote so many great songs like Crazy and Ain't It Funny How Time Slips Away. There's all those songs you can go and discover. But I would start with Stardust. That's just, to me, that is just a masterpiece. And then you can go on and discover some of the other stuff.
Okay, I promise I will do it. I love when I sit down with someone and I have homework assignments for later in the week. No, truly, like I have stuff to do and I can't wait to hear your singing voice. I won't put you on the spot and have you sing for us. But I'm just hearing I love your Southern accent, and just hearing the tone and timbre of your voice is very soothing and pretty. You've got a wonderful voice. We've been so lucky to have, we've sat with so many DJs and radio personalities on this podcast, just not even planning it that way. But we're just so lucky that so many people have media training and are comfortable sitting with us. So thank you for those facts. Now tell me, I'm going to pull you back to talking about your record. What kind of music you making? How's it going so far? How many songs you got laid down?
About 6 or 7, and it's not country, which, is what I've always done, but I also love classic pop, great songs. So I've been writing some songs. Okay. So it's a mixture of songs that I'm writing and some just tunes that I've always loved.
All right. So when are you slated to release it? What's your wish list kind of month that you want to put it
2026 out? Is definitely the goal. And I'm not going to put it all out at once. I'm just going to start with a song.
Smart.
Yeah, just roll it
That's
out.
That's how the kids these days are doing it.
And I like that. That's how they did it in the 50s. It was all a singles world.
Jonathan and I talk about this. He's like, I'm so sick of everyone putting out just an EP. But for me, we differ in this. We differ on a lot of things. But we differ on this point because I like to have a little taste. I don't mind a single. Give me 5 that I can buy and look forward to the full length if you ever put it out. But like 5 songs is fine. If that's all you can make right now, let me have it.
Yeah.
Let me have what you have.
Well, it looks like people are doing playlists now. So it could be 5 songs or it could be 25 songs.
True.
So I think we're just going to keep going until one of us drops dead, and then we'll figure out what to do next. But I think that's the plan.
Well, I'm glad you're being open to kind of expanding your artistry. That sounds exciting. You mentioned like classic pop. So when you think of classic pop, who's in the back of your mind?
I think of people like Dusty Springfield, Dionne Warwick, Roy Orbison. I'm a vocalist first. And before you add any genre to it. Now I'm here and I am obviously Southern and love country music and have a deep relationship with the Opry, but I love all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So it's great to go outside of your box and try different things.
What is inspiring you songwriting wise, thematically? Are you writing about love? Are you writing about sadness? What are you writing about right now?
I hear the music. Yeah, I hear the music, and so I think if the words are melancholy, now I usually, I leave the lyrics to someone else. I come up with the music. And I hear it in my head. And so I put the melody down on a recorder and then send it to a lyricist. And that's what works for me. And I wasn't really sure, maybe I'm not a great songwriter or maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But I really needed to kind of find out where my strengths were.
Why did you think that?
I think just getting too many people in a room, because here in Nashville, it's like you got 8 people in a room all trying to write a song, and it's just like, I can't do that.
Listen, completely different industries, of course, but I'm the same way in my creative process. I know in advertising, we talk a lot about brainstorming. Let's all get into a room. And it's not that I don't like collaboration.
Yeah.
I love collaboration, but I have to go. When I get a briefing, of course, we have an assignment as a artist. You don't. Your assignment is you in your head. So we get an assignment. I'm already my brain hears the sentence and it's already like, I can't help it. Like it's happening in the room. But then I need to go off by myself and put things together and then come back in the room and share and shape and hear what other people. I also don't want to be affected by other people's ideas. And it's not because of competition. It's I'm a purist with, I want to know that and this goes back to AI that we talked about earlier before we started recording. I want to know that my brain is capable of creating something kind of on its own, devoid of influence. I don't get an idea like make an ad about happy people and I'm like Googling like ads about, I don't. And I know a lot of people in my industry start with like looking at inspiration. I'm like, no, I want to like sit in it and try to have something close to an original thought, even though there are no new ideas. And so I really, we're obviously in completely different industries, but it's a point of connection because I too cannot right away do that, filtering other people's ideas while my brain is like firing.
I don't enjoy it. I really don't. So I'm better off coming up with my melody, working on it, shaping it, and then sending it to someone. And if they like it, they want to write words to it, then great.
Where do you get, I know I'm like this, it'll be right before I'm falling asleep when it's the least convenient time to have to get up and write something down, or when I'm in the shower. Where do you get your ideas mostly?
They just kind of come on, whether I'm in the shower and I try to have my phone close by. And if sometimes a good idea will just keep circling, like it'll come back. And so those melodies that keep coming back, I think, okay, well, there's something catchy about that, or it wouldn't just keep coming back.
Do you grab your phone and just sort of hum? Or
Yeah. I hum, and because I don't want to be limited to what I can play, because I'm not, a great musician. I can play ukulele, but I am so much, I can do so much more inside my head than I can on an instrument. So if I can sing it, then sky's the limit. If I have to play it, well, then I'm going to be limited to what I can play.
Right. Our daughter, who is 10, we got her some ukulele lessons just because it's an instrument that's fun and playful.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And you can kind of get your ideas out. My husband is very kind of hyperactive and always making noises with his mouth, or like singing, or, beatboxing.
Yeah.
Our daughter to this day will like sing something and then beatbox a little bit and then sing some more. And I don't know many little girls growing up like beatboxing around. She used to get in trouble in class, like, she's beatboxing while she's doing her test. But it is like she's finding the rhythm in her head, and whether or not she does anything musically, just having her brain wiring itself to hear things rhythmically.
Yes.
She also is very good about memorizing lyrics after hearing it one or two times. I think even if she does nothing with it, it's like, cool, your brain's like using another.
She's a creative.
Yeah. Lord help us. Well, having gotten this far in your career and having such a successful career, maybe having a career that perhaps didn't follow a linear path, and maybe all those years you spent in the studio where it went nowhere, but you learned all of these amazing things. Looking back on everything that you've accomplished so far, how does it feel?
It feels good. It feels like things have happened the way they're supposed to. Now, I can't say that, there aren't things that I wished had worked out or things that have fallen apart that I look back but I'm glad they happened. You do learn from things.
Yeah.
And I think the important thing is just to keep going and keep creating and try not to let it get you down. It is a tough business.
It is a tough business.
It really is.
Especially
it's very competitive.
In this city, between here and like New York and LA.
Yes, it is. And just, dealing with the business and the people in the business, that's the most challenging part. The music is great.
What do you think you have that has allowed you, not musically, but from the business perspective, that has allowed you to thrive in this business for so long?
I'm strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what way? Say more.
Mentally and emotionally, and I'm resilient. You know, I get knocked down and I bounce back up and dust myself off. And
what does that look like when you experience in your head, if you experience a setback, a failure, and I put that in quotes, there are so many people who have an inability to not take that personally or let a loss or a failure destroy them.
yeah.
Why do you think you're able to get back up? Where's that come from?
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's my mother, because she was like that. She was strong.
What is your mother's name?
Her name's Betty.
Oh, yes.
Betty Ruth.
Oh, that's cute. I love that name.
Yeah.
I love that name. Shout out to Betty. Okay, so your mom was like that
She
too.
was very strong, and she just didn't let, I'd go to her, well, this is happening. This, well, you just gotta not let it get you down. You've just got to pick yourself up. And she just wouldn't let me wallow in things. And so, and not that I don't do that. I mean, there are times when I feel terribly sorry for myself and cry and
It's natural.
take to the bed. And but
I'm taking to the bed.
I'm
yes.
taking to the bed. But ultimately, I have to pull myself out of it. No one else is going to do it for me.
That's true.
And so, and we all have to go through our own stuff. No one is exempt from failures and losses. And I mean, now there are some people that seem to be they just take off instantly and instant fame, instant, fortune. And hasn't been that way for me. But there's also a downside to that as well. I've seen it happen over and over again.
Of course. I was just thinking that when you said it. It's like, while instant fame or notoriety, maybe money, seems on the outside appealing.
Yeah.
A lot of people that happens to, if they're not grounded before they start, or bless them if they're young.
Oh,
if
yes.
it happens when you're young and that frontal lobe is not developed quite yet, it almost always never works for a long period of time. You have mental illness, you have addiction and abuse and things like that just...
And people, it's like you're drawing some of the worst people to you that will just tell you anything you want to hear and
to have a piece of your pie.
Just so they can feel better. And
yeah.
And that's a horrible thing. The people sometimes are worse than the drugs. They are a drug. Someone telling you yes all the time, or that not giving it to you straight. That's no good. That's not love.
That isn't love, man. That's a good lesson to take away from this episode. That's a gem of a thing to say. People not being straight with you is not love.
No, it's not.
Did I say that right? If people are straight with you, that's a good way to love someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that deeply.
You got to keep people around that will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And not let you go down a path that's not good for you without at least saying, hey, I've noticed this. Say it like it is. Tell it like it is. And people are too afraid to.
Who does that for you?
Well, I'm lucky. I do have 2 or 3 great friends that do that for me. My mother did it for me. My Aunt Linda. I mean, I am blessed to have some people who are very honest, and I'm pretty painfully self-aware. So I don't kid myself. I mean, I know what my flaws are, and I try to work on them. I really do.
What do you think? What's a flaw that you're working on?
Not letting things hurt me. Because I'm an emotional person. I think that comes with being an artist.
Yeah, of course.
But it's a hard business, and you're dealing with all kinds of personalities, good and bad. And so not taking it personally is sometimes hard.
It goes back to that strength thing about getting up. But it's interesting that you say that, and then you also say that you're still working on it.
I am.
Yeah. And
But I don't let it destroy me. I don't. Ultimately, I work through it somehow or another.
it's okay to be hurt by things, right? We're people, and the best artists stay sensitive. It's hard to stay sensitive, so you got to keep your sensitivity so you can do the job that you were meant to do.
You have to be vulnerable to connect.
Right.
And then when you're vulnerable and it doesn't work out, then you know, it's just, it's tough.
It's part of it. It's part of it. This is a question that I usually ask at the end, not always, but this is my weird one that I really like because we've gotten such varied answers. What's a question that you really like being asked, or what is a question that you wish someone would ask you?
Oh my gosh. I don't have a clue. I really don't. I don't have a clue. Have you ever had anyone answer that way?
No. You're our first one.
Okay. I don't know.
I had a guest.
I feel like I've been an open book.
You have been an open book. I had a guy say, I wish someone would ask who does my hair.
Okay.
And so I asked him who did his hair so he could talk about his hair. One of our guests said, I wish more people would ask me, how are you, and really mean it and be interested in the answer. So those are just a couple off the top of my head. But no one has said, I don't know. And that's a fine and valid answer, too.
I have no clue.
That's
really
okay.
don't.
That's okay. We are now, unfortunately, I don't think your episode will air before your show.
That's okay.
And it probably, well, I know for sure it won't, we won't be releasing it before the holiday, and we've talked a lot about holidays. You've gotten me kind of wanting to come over to Aunt Linda's if she has more room at the table. Does she make her dressing herself?
She does. And in growing up, when I would see, go to kids' houses that had stovetop stuffing, I always felt so sorry for them.
I like stovetop. Should I tell you that?
A lot of people do, but
I do, but I like homemade too. As long as people don't go crazy with what's the herb? Is it
sage?
Thyme? Oh, sage. If they just it's a whisper of sage. It does not need to be a shout.
They can ruin dressing with sage, and they can ruin a pumpkin pie with nutmeg and clove.
You're right.
Oof. Yes. But I can't stand pumpkin pies most of the time, but Aunt Linda makes the perfect pumpkin pies.
Okay.
Yeah, delicious.
How's her crust?
It's great.
Now, are you do you like a graham cracker granular situation, or are you like light and fluffy, or somewhere in the middle?
No, I like light and fluffy.
Okay.
Just flour. Like the old style crusts. And one thing that I do miss, I miss seeing meringue pies. Oh. Used to, you could go to any restaurant and get a piece of meringue pie, and that seems to be like a lost art.
Meringue is not easy.
It's not easy.
Does
and a whipped cream pie is not the same. No, Linda never got, that was a generation behind her. She never got into making the meringue pies. My great aunts made chocolate, lemon, butterscotch. They were delicious.
Oh my gosh, butterscotch. I've never considered that, okay, don't be mad. I know we just met. I actually don't like pie itself. I don't like the texture of any kind of crust. I don't like it. I just don't like any of it. I will eat the innards.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather have like a cake, like a German chocolate, like old school. I call it Lutheran church basement sheet cake is my favorite.
Yeah.
German chocolate, things like that. But the idea of a butterscotch pie is very intriguing.
I loved it. Yeah.
With meringue on the top, stop it. That sounds good as heck.
It is.
Oh, man. Okay, last question. What's your favorite song right now and or your favorite record? Doesn't have to be all time. What do you listen? What are you into right now? What's
favorite song right now? I would say I've been listening to the Bee Gees a lot. Words is a song that the Gibb brothers wrote, and I love that song. And I also love To Love Somebody. I've been listening a lot to them.
okay?
Yeah.
That was on the list of things that I thought you might say.
Yeah.
The Bee Gees.
Thank you.
Were not
I'm flashing.
on my little dab. Everybody needs a little dab. I'll do it with you, girl.
Thank you.
We gotta dab our faces.
I love the Bee Gees.
I was just gonna say, they're inarguably fantastic.
They are.
To hear.
And ABBA, oh my gosh.
Oh, ABBA's good too. I like ABBA, but one of my very best friends is like, he's a super fan. Like I love ABBA. Who doesn't love ABBA? But he like loves ABBA.
Yeah.
Okay, so that song, that artist. Do you have a record player at home?
I do.
What's on your record player right now? Even though you can't remember what you had for lunch.
Probably Kate Smith.
I don't know who that is. Tell me about her.
She was a singer she started in the 30s.
Oh.
Her first big hit was God Bless America. That's how far back she goes. She was one of the first superstars.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was amazing because she had a career that was decades long. She was making records in the 80s.
And never heard about her. I've never heard about her. Okay.
Yeah. She's a little out of our age range, but my grandmother loved her. And so I started listening to her when I was just a kid, and there's something about her voice. Like you either going to love it or hate it because it sounds like a different time. She sings like a different style of singing.
Right.
But it's just something that it's a sound that I love. It's very pure and clear, and she just had a lot of talent.
Kate Smith. Okay. Do you have a record recommendation of hers?
Just the best of, and then you can kind of get a good little bit of variety of who she was.
Okay.
Dream a Little Dream of Me was one of her first big hits before the Mamas and Papas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a point of connection. That I'm like, oh, obviously.
But she was amazing.
In addition to God Bless America.
Actually, one of the best things I've ever seen of her is Cher, Tina Turner, and Kate Smith doing the Cher show, and they are singing a Beatles medley. It is one of the funniest things. But that just goes to show what a powerhouse she was to be included with Cher and Tina Turner, but from a different generation.
Okay, now I'm going to look that up too.
But, but that's how important she was. Kind of like her, she and Bing Crosby were two people that had careers that were decades long. Mm-hmm. Starting out in the 30s, and then, in the 70s, they're recording their Beatles tribute records and the songs of the day.
Incredible. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for dropping some really fabulous historical musical knowledge. Thank you for opening your heart and sharing so much about what's going on in your personal life right now. I'm sorry I made you cry.
It's okay. I'm raw right now. I'm just so...
Well, and I think speaking of bravery, I think it's really brave and really honest. And I think, as I've said, nobody needs another podcast. But if we can do one thing on this podcast is give people, listeners, a point of connection, or someone might say something that someone in the audience might go, yeah, me too. I'm feeling that way right now as well. I think that's what makes the world go round and the only thing that matters in this life. So again, thank you for sharing so much of yourself with me today.
Thank you,
Mandy.
I enjoyed it.
All right. Our show is executive produced by Sherry Day, Farley Day, and John Arnold. Produced, edited, and engineered by Jonathan Kosick. Extra creative magic provided by other fine folks at our sister agency, Artists and Outlaws, including design by Josh Ford and digital management by Nate Hook. If you live in the Nashville area or are visiting soon and want to be a guest, email us at jonathan@freshconsumables.com. That's JONATHAN@freshconsumables.com. Want to hear more of Surprisingly's meaningful and unpredictable conversations? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Bridget Dinahan. Thanks for listening.